Good morning, students. Last week we have seen about the verbal communication. What actually the verbal communication it means. So verbal communication is predominantly using the language or symbols or some kind of words we are using to communicate our ideas. It has a two-way communication. One is you are using the verbal, and we call it as a predominantly we are using verbal languages, signs, and also the appropriate words. It's used for written communication and also oral communication. So last week we have seen this kind of oral communication and verbal communication is the most important part of communication to communicate officially and also ex-officially. So this class we are going to see about the types of verbal communication. They have what kind of types, different type of verbal communication. Even though we are using the verbal, as that means the language we are using for communicate, they have a depending upon the context. Already we have seen about the depending upon the context and the transactive nature of the communication. We have different types of communication. That's the predominant use of communication is why we are using communication. Depending upon the uses, it have different types. For example, the first most important is the intrapersonal communication. The intrapersonal communication is usually it is a within ourselves. Intrapersonal, as you know, it is a within ourselves communications. How we can communicate ourselves. Like the picture shows that the thinking or dreaming, that is what we are not. When you are thinking, we are not necessarily to communicate out. When you are dreaming, we are not necessarily what we have found a dream. So most of the time we ourselves are communicating with ourselves. That is called intrapersonal communication. This form of communication is extremely private and restricted to ourselves. That's what unless otherwise we told our experience, our thinking, our dreaming to other person through verbal or some other way of communication, this kind of communication may not reveal to others. That's what this form of communication is extremely private. Only we know. So because even though we know we are thinking ourselves, they are thinking through words. That's what it is restricted to ourselves, intrapersonal communication. So this kind of communication usually the silent conversation we have with ourselves. So we actually have a silent conversation, no? So that silent conversation is again it is about to give us some kind of input, and also it have some kind of thinking ourselves like a dreaming, and also then some kind of the planning and everything is a silent conversation with ourselves, and also wherein we juggle roles between center and receiver. It is another important communication, the context. That's what when you as a student, when you are going to meet the dean, or when you are going to meet the higher officials or for interview, so you think you before you are going to enter to the room or before going to actual discussion, you will rehearse yourself, no? So after entering the room, what kind of talk, how I can initiate the talk, and how I can say hello, or how where I say good morning. If I say good morning, what he may reply. Like that, before you going to actual conversation taken place, you think you yourself think about both center and receiver. So if you say something, what may be the professor reply, and for that what we can do that like that. So that's what where the juggle roles between the center and the receiver. So most probably all of us, when you are going to the higher official or some delicate situation, for example, if someone want to propose her love to somebody, then he has to think what he will reply, what she reply, like that. So all the delegated situation, or when the conversation is somewhat not easy to communicate, then the roles between center and receiver ourselves, we think about how to communicate and what may be the receiver reply and how we can reply again. Like that, the thinking process is going on. And another important context is who are processing our thoughts and action. So that's what, as I said, when you are going before saying a word, actually it is existing in our mind. So every action before we are execute, we plan in our mind. For example, if you want to going to see the movie, but you are going to see the movie is action, but the planning for seeing the movie is mostly happen in our mind. The reservation ticket and the mode of the transport and everything you decide by mind. That's what it is, a thought process and leads to the action. That's what the intrapersonal communication, it has a different dimension in everyday life. And intrapersonal communication, another important is the process of communication can either be conveyed verbally. Sometimes, no, we always we are communicate. So yesterday I have a dream about something. Then you utter the dream about what is your dream to your friends. And also today I thought I am thinking about saying something. You explain you are thinking to somebody. So sometimes they will be conveyed verbally to someone or stay confined as a thoughts. Sometimes not you think that this kind of thoughts may not be worth to reveal, and if you see something, if you say something, they may be laugh, they criticize. So after that kind of situation, you never reveal your thoughts or never reveal your dreams. They confine your dreams or thoughts within yourself. That's called another intrapersonal communication. These all are belongs to intrapersonal communication, which communicate ourselves. And second types of verbal communication is interpersonal communication. So the intra means within ourselves. As the word inter means, it is a connecting between the two personal. Two personalities coming together to share communication. That is exactly what it means, interpersonal communication. Let's say, so the interpersonal communication takes place between two individuals. So that's what the two individuals, they have a conversation, thus one-to-one conversation. So the two individuals mutually, maybe within your friends, within your family members, and every most contacts to your person you experience, in your roommate, in your colleagues, in your friend, every context in the best of a situation, you converse more. We call it as a interpersonal communication. So the two individuals involved will swap their roles of a sender and receiver in order to communicate in a clear manner. So not only if in the communication between the friends, communication between the family member, not everybody like if I am a friend with you, then not always I am in the sending end and not also in the receiving end. We are mutually convey so many ideas. Sometimes I say something new to you. Sometimes you get back give a new information to me. So the both personality. So both I and you, we change our roles as a sender and also receiver, because sometimes I communicate and you listen, and sometimes you communicate and I will listen. So when you are communicating, you are the center. When I am receiving, I am the receiver. So sometimes when I am again repeating to you, I become a center. So this kind of role is mutually changing. In case of intrapersonal, both center and receiver are the same person. Here, the interpersonal, the both center and receiver, that the role will be changed among the two persons who involving the communication process. So on the third dimension, third style is a small group communication. So here, there are not only two, so the small group of people, maybe you are among your yearmates, among the classmates, among the group of friends. This is a small group communication, so normally taken place. The small group communication can take place only there are more than two people involved. Because if two people involved, it can consider as a interpersonal communication, as you know. Here, more than two person, maybe 3 or 5 or 10. So here, number of people will be small enough. That is important, not more than 20, to allow each participant to interact and converse with the rest. If more than 20, it will become a mass communication. So that's what because the main idea is the more than 2 and less than 20, because if they have a 20 and everybody have a opportunity to interact with all the other 20 members. So that's what the small group communication can take place when there are more than 2 people involved, and at the same time not much people, in order to interact with each participant and converse with the rest of the people. That's what the press conference, like on board meeting, the group discussion and the team meeting are examples of group communication. Because any team, player of 10 or 12, that may be the maximum. Any board of members around 20. Any press conference, one people addressing the press and the press people are 20 or 30. That's what. So it was a group discussion. It's all are the small example, simple example for the group communication. So, and another style is a public communication. Is as your name is, if more than 20, only the center they can communicate. We cannot get So that it is a very limited opportunity for the receiver to interact with the center in public communication. That's what the public communication takes place when one individual addresses a large gathering. So like a election campaign, and also the public speeches, and in the radio advertisement, radio and the mass media are example for this type of communication. In such a cases, there is usually a single center of information and several receivers who are being addressed. So that we are, if you are attending some election campaign, the leader, political leader or particular party leader will speak, will address the public. But those million of people are hearing, but you cannot be able to interact with the leader to convey the message. And that's what we call as a public communication is a one-way communication that mostly the receiver cannot have a chance to interact with from whom the message can be delivered to him. So this is what the type we have a 4 type, no? The interpersonal intrapersonal, interpersonal, small group, and also the public communications. Even it is a type of communication. In the style, how we can style is a type of something different from the style. So if we have some kind of style in how we can deliver the speech, how we can provide the communication among the types. That's also we call the styles of verbal communication. So the what kind of styles is existing and how we can use the context for the how it becomes most important for the verbal communication. How it is contributing to the efficiency of our verbal communication, whether may be written or whether may be oral. But the style is determining it is efficiency. So the type we can choose depending upon the situation, which type we can opt for situation. It is a merely selection. Depending upon the situation, we merely selection. But in case of style, it is a choice. How we can deliver our verbal language or oral language or written communication. So it is a choice. That's what we have to very carefully and deal with the style of verbal communication. So the next class we will see about what are the styles in the verbal communication existing, how it is helpful for communicating our thoughts and ideas to the public. It is all about verbal communication. Okay, please stay home and safe, and convey my regards to all our family members, and please give your feedback whether this kind of delivering lectures and delivering ideas whether useful, and if you need any changes, please feel free to give a feedback to us. Thank you so much. Thank you.